2020, and this is a Bitcoin news update. Jerome Powell, the chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank, has just given a speech about a few hours ago here in the United States on the Fed's monetary policy going forward. This news was significant for not just U.S.-based investors, global investors, pension fund managers, and of course retirees and retirement savings folks, but also it was a historical day for the United States and the U.S. dollar. Before we get into that conversation, just want to quickly head to the charts to see the reactions, just as we always do here at adoBtion. And as we can see here, we've got the daily that we're moving to, news on the day. It's down a little bit for Bitcoin from Jerome Powell's speech, but as we can see, the trend is still our friend, and the short-term price movements are probably really there to shake out the weak hands. Those of us that are hodlers know what's up, and I'm looking forward to enjoying the rest of what we hope to be a continued bull run with everyone here at adoBtion. But the most exciting news that's happened today, and the news that we're talking about on today's episode, is the meeting and presentation that Jerome Powell just gave to the world. And here we have an article from CNBC. It's posted about 5 hours ago, and this one's quoting Cramer. Powell is on the side of the bulls. Cramer calls Fed chief's speech incredible for investors. Now, what does this mean? What is Jim Cramer talking about? Well, what Cramer is alluding to, in my opinion, is that Jerome Powell has made it very clear to the United States and the rest of the world that the Federal Reserve Bank is going to increase inflation going forward. He made an announcement making it known that they have reviewed monetary policy in the past, the way that they've acted in the past, and they have decided going forward they may need to change exactly what's done in the past in order to keep, from what they say, employment and stable inflation. But as we've learned from his speech, and I'm sure a lot of you have listened, those that understand Austrian economics, what exactly he was saying was complete and utter BS. Jerome Powell was making the argument that more inflation is needed to prevent less inflation. If there's too little inflation, then that risks with the interest rates being lowered too quickly. But what he neglected to understand or say, or of course he's saying it, and it's just the audience and the people that don't understand, is that the interest rates are already at or near zero anyways. That was a quick chuckle I had from there. He's also made it clear that this has been a wake-up call to investors. So Jim Cramer was saying this is going to be something very popular with the bulls, because if you are an investor in the U.S. stock market and you know that the Federal Reserve is going to continue inflating the currency and the dollar supply, and they're going to also continue bailing out bad corporate debt and bad corporate bonds, which we've seen the Fed purchasing corporate bonds over the last several months. You know that stock prices are going to continue to increase, and if you're an investor in the U.S. stock market, it means that you probably have some more running room to work with as far as free money supply, which we've seen funnel into financials, boost stock prices from share buybacks and other lending practices, and continue to continue this game of this fake economy, monopoly-based money system. But what does this mean for us here in the Bitcoin space? This means that the fundamentals of Bitcoin as a decentralized currency, as digital gold, has never been more sound than ever. Moving into 2020, there was a lot of excitement in the space about a lot of the projects finally being developed that was going to lead to a lot of adoption, and also the inclusion of what we believe are institutional money. Paul Tudor Jones, of course, being the first, one of the larger well-known billionaire investors, has openly made it known he's allocated 2% of his portfolio in Bitcoin. We now have heard from some prior banking executives that they believe that Bitcoin is the way to go now because of risk of the dollar. Warren Buffett, as we know, has just come out and announced he's buying gold, even though he said gold is worthless. And of course, he's made a comment that Bitcoin is worthless. But we're going to see what Warren does here going forward with the money that he's not going to be making in stocks, and he's also not going to be making in bonds. which is why he's buying gold. But I'm sure Bitcoin will be right around the corner. But I think Warren Buffett's going to be buying gold around, or I'm sorry, he's going to be buying Bitcoin around 50,000 a Bitcoin. That's okay. He'll be late to the game. He's overrated anyways. But the important thing going forward is that there is an escape from the current economy. There's an escape from the U.S. dollar. Jerome Powell in today's conversation made it very clear that the U.S. will continue to increase inflation with the hope to meet its 2% inflation rate when it's needed. Another joke, I got to add it on, that I heard him talk about was the whole employment debacle. So they want more inflation to try to keep employment, right? But as we see right now, not many people are employed. So, but going forward, what can you do to help preserve your wealth? You can, number one, we promote here Bitcoin, purchasing Bitcoin. If you're a U.S. resident or if you're abroad, Kraken is a very well-known cryptocurrency exchange around the world. We have links in our comments to that exchange. You're going to go on there and buy Bitcoin. Just understand the ticker is XBT. That's just different from the BTC that you would normally see. What we can do is you can click the link in the comments section, create an account, and then you would just validate your driver's license for any KYC they'll ask you for on there. Link a debit card or a bank account, deposit US dollars into your Kraken account, and then from there you can go into the exchange and find the ticker USD to XBT. So you'll buy Bitcoin with your dollars that you just deposited. You purchase that Bitcoin and then get yourself a Trezor hardware wallet or some type of hardware wallet, and make sure that you transfer that Bitcoin off the exchange into a hardware wallet where it is safe, secure. Always write down your passwords. These are tutorials that we have here at adoBtion. Subscribe to us. You know, we'll provide as much education as we can going forward. I'll have videos coming out on hardware wallets and different exchange reviews. But again, today's update is all about Jerome Powell. It's all about the US dollar. This is a historical day for the U.S. economy. This is a historical day for the U.S. dollar. As we move forward in a world where there's a focus on de-globalization, de-dollarization, and what looks like hyper-Bitcoinization. Thank you, everyone. This was a quick update. If you like what you see, you can find us at adoBtion.io. From there, you can subscribe to our free education newsletter where we will give you tips, tricks on how to adopt and use Bitcoin today. If you are a business who's looking on how to integrate Bitcoin, either payments into your business, or you're looking to create a product or move a process of your business onto the blockchain, you can head to our service tabs on adoptbitcoin.com and we'll help you out there. All right, everyone. Until next time, take care. Peace, y'all.